Hey guys, so I wanted to be as authentic as possible in my video today and just share with you guys, something that I read in the Bible and just like my interpretation of it. I feel like everyone can interpret things the way that they want or whatever. Like everybody has their own interpretation, but this is mine personally. But yeah, so it says, "A good name is better than fine perfume, and the day of death is better than the day of birth. It is better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting, for death is the destiny of everyone. The living should take this to heart. Frustration is better than laughter, but a sad face is good for the heart. The heart of the wise is in the house of the mourning, but the heart of the fool is in the house of pleasure." So this stood out to me because when you go on a spiritual journey and you think of life, of birth, when you first come into this world and you're experiencing things and you're going through life and, you know, everybody has a purpose to fulfill, whether you go on that path or not. Yeah, so when you're here in the world and you're going through your experiences and things like that, you may be led to spirituality and, you know, finding yourself and finding that power within yourself, which is the death that they're talking about here. It's like you're no longer in the space of, you know, seeing the world the way that you saw it once before. It's like now you're healing, and that's where the mourning and the sadness comes from. It's like that feeling of going through those feelings of what have traumatized you or hurt you or caused you pain. Those are things that I feel it's talking about here in particular, because it's like you gotta like die that old personality, that old, you know, traits, or the old like things that you used to do that no longer serve you now. It's what has died. And that needs to happen in order for you to become your most powerful self. So that's why that in particular stood out to me. And something else was, "The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides in the laps of fools. Why were the old days better than these? For it is not wise to ask such questions. Wisdom, like an inheritance, is a good thing, and benefits those who see the sun. Wisdom is a shelter, as money is a shelter. But the advantage of knowledge is this: wisdom preserves those who have it." So then again, it takes me to a time where, you know, during your spiritual journey, which is now I'm currently on that, I have had instances where, things are happening and I become angry, or I become angry with the people or the situation. And it's not that you can't be angry, it's just how you handle it and how you deal with it. So, you know, it's like, don't be so quick to react to situations or people, because that's what some people are here to do during your journey, is to distract you from the things that you like want in life, the things that you want to accomplish, or the dreams or your desires. It's like those things is what you're looking forward to, but you're going to have those distractions and those things that can make you angry along the way. Another thing that I read in this chapter was, when times are good, be happy. But when times are bad, consider this: God has made the one as well as the other. Therefore, no one can discover anything about their future. So here's where I think about, the past. As they say, don't think about the days and think, oh, those days were better. Just think about them where you were happy, and then also think about the times where they're bad. I don't really like to say bad because everything is a part of growth and, you growing and you becoming. So I don't really consider it bad. But when you're in a situation where you're not comfortable, or it brings that sadness and those things that you don't want to feel, it's like that's a part of the process. And it's like you're not going to know your future because it's out of your hands. And that's where you have your faith to, keep going. That doesn't mean like, oh, you think that your future is going to be this or that because of what, any outside force is doing. Not saying that God doesn't work in mysterious ways, because he does. It just also means that you have that same power within to create your future. So it's like you have to do the work as well. And this whole chapter is just about wisdom. So I personally have asked God to give me more wisdom and more discernment and make me be more like him in certain ways. So that's what brought me to this. Next is, do not be over righteous, neither be over wise. Why destroy yourself? Don't be over wicked. Do not be a fool. Why die before your time? It is good to grasp the ones and not let go of the other. Whoever fears God will avoid all extremes. Wisdom makes one's wise persons more powerful than 10 rulers in a city. Indeed, there is no one on earth who is righteous, no one who does what is right and never sins. Do not pay attention to every word people say, or you may hear your servants cursing you. For you know in your heart that many times you yourself has cursed others. All this I tested by wisdom, and I said, I am determined to be wise, but this was beyond me. Whatever exists is far off and most profound. Who can discover it? So I turned my mind to understand, to investigate, and to search out wisdom in the scheme of things, and to understand that stupidity of wickedness and the madness of folly. I find more bitter than death the woman who is a snare, whose heart is a trap, and whose hands are chains. The man who pleases God will escape her, but the sinners she will ensnare. Who is like the wise, who knows the explanation of things? A person's wisdom brightens their face and changes his hard appearance. So from that, I feel like, good doesn't exist without bad. And, to have the wisdom doesn't necessarily mean that you're the smartest being in the world. It just means you can use it in certain situations to create greatness, create goodness, and maybe even find, you might even find yourself like giving that wisdom to others and communicating with them, and just giving them like words of encouragement or whatever. That's usually like what I do when I'm talking to my friends and things like that. So it's like, I personally feel that, you know, with God on your side, basically, it's saying you're going to encounter these things, but you will get through it with God on your side. Now, if you don't have God on your side or knowing the power that you have within yourself, you will become like a victim of that situation. Now, that just brings me to a situation where, you know, a friend of mine came to me and we were talking about relationships and how, you know, certain certain relationships just don't serve you. So, for example, it's like you feel like the person doesn't wow you, or the person doesn't value you as much as they did when you guys first got together. So I had told her, I was like, you know, maybe you should have that conversation, or, you know, have that conversation with him, or you have to then just know what it is that you want or you value within yourself to know that this no longer serves you, so you must move on. Or give the person a chance to correct their actions so then they can become better beings. So, yeah, and I was just like, you know, sometimes you have to make that hard choice and that hard decision about, you know, something that you necessarily might not want to do. But again, that comes from you just taking that time for yourself and understanding the things that you value and the things that you want. So it's like that's where it all comes in, as far as like the wisdom and having the wisdom to like just communicate with people and like give them like words of encouragement and things like that. And it's not, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, I know everything. It's just, even from my own experience, you know, the experiences help you like grow, help you gain the wisdom. So I was just giving her those encouraging words and the wisdom that I took from my own life to encourage her as well, to take the time for herself and really truly understand what it is that she wants in life. And if people don't meet those needs, it's like that means you outgrown that situation. And not saying that that person cannot grow, it's just maybe they need to step aside on their own time, as well as yourself, to grow. Like, we all have to grow on our own pace and our own time and by ourselves, meaning I can't want you to grow with me. You have to do that willingly on your own, as well as I. So if I can grow by myself, then it allows me to then see things that I no longer want or need in my life. For example, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, and much of other things, just to see where my mind space needed to be, or where certain things in my life were just no longer serving me. So for that, I thank God, because, you know, that's wisdom that is given. It's like, I've always been told that I've been wise and just know like the right things to say. But I'm telling you, like, we all are capable of the same thing. We just have to really believe in ourselves. And that's the journey that I'm on, is like believing in myself and learning like my values and things like that. So my message to you guys is, if it's the wisdom that you may like want from God, or that you have within yourself, but God gives it to you, it's like, do the work. And it can sometimes be lonely and hard, but it's like once you get to certain like steps and certain places in life, you feel that, you want to continue on this journey, because it teaches you so much about yourself and how to love yourself correctly and not really be in fear and those negative emotions that keep you in a low vibration. So as I say this, I say it with love. Let's find ourselves and let's work on ourselves and become our higher selves, so we can, love ourselves correctly. And then, by loving ourselves correctly, people will come in and love on us just like we expect them to. So that's my message. And I just want you guys to know that I love you, and we deserve love. We all deserve love. And we all deserve the things that we desire. So let's get into loving ourselves. Love you guys. Bye.